Salut and welcome to Audrey's Boreal Baking. So today it's Christmas season or holiday season, and so I'm going to make one of my favorite desserts of all time. So it's a Ferrero Rocher brownie. So we have a brownie in the bottom, then some kind of nougat in the middle with a bunch of Nutella, and then on top chocolate and nuts. And so it's a tray bake and it's so good. So I like to make everything from scratch, and so if you want to save a step, you can buy marshmallow fluff in a jar. You know, they sell that in some stores, but because I like to make everything from scratch, I'm going to make my own marshmallow fluff, and so I'm going to start with that. So I have in my bowl here already 3 egg whites, and because I'm going to whip those egg whites, I'm going to put a little bit of cream of tartar. And to make sure that, and this is to make sure that the egg whites will whip nicely. If you want to make sure that your egg whites are whipping nicely, make sure also that your bowl and that your beater are grease-free. I'm just going to get them to go to soft peak consistency, and working in parallel, I will have on the hob something heating at the same time. So in my pan here, I have 200 grams of corn syrup, of our syrup or glucose. Then to that, I'm going to add 80 milliliters of water, but I'm going to add 175 grams of sugar to my bowl. And so I'm going to bring that to the hob here. So my sugar syrup is soon to be going to be at 150. It's at 105 almost, so 10 more degrees, and then I'm going to stream it very slowly into my mixture there. So I'm going to start mixing my egg whites, and I'm going to get to a soft peak consistency, and I'm going to mix slowly because I need to not rush, so my sugar gets to 150 degrees at the same time as this gets to soft peaks. Okay, so my syrup is now at 115 degrees, so I'm going to stream it here gently, and I'm going to mix this until the mixture becomes cool to the touch. This is ready, and as you can tell, it's really thick. So I'm going to move on to the brownie. So I'm going to put in this big bowl here 4 eggs that I have already broken, but 330 grams of sugar go in this bowl. So I'm going to mix that for 5 minutes or so until it's really nice and whippy and fluffy. Okay, so now that my eggs and my sugar have been beaten, that they're nice and fluffy, I'm going to add to that mixture something rather delicious looking. So in this bowl, I have melted in the microwave 160 grams of dark chocolate with 160 grams of butter. Pour this entire chocolatey deliciousness in this bowl. This already looks so delicious, and so little more ingredients to be added now. So to this mix, I'm going to now put through the sieve 120 grams of flour, 50 grams of cocoa powder, 4 teaspoons of baking soda and of salt. And last but not least, I'm going to put in the brownie some nuts. And as you may know, Ferrero Rocher is well known for hazelnuts, but because I'm allergic to all these nuts, I have replaced it instead by pecans, and so I have toasted them in between 50 and 60 grams. So that goes in, and we're going to mix until combined. All right. So that's it for the brownie batter. So in this 10-inch pan that I've prepared already, I'm going to pour all my batter in. And once you have all the batter in there, you can level it with a spatula or palette knife. Make sure that it goes in all corners. Right, so that looks good. So I'm going to put that to the oven at 160 for 15 to 20 minutes and pick it with a skewer. If you feel that it's really runny, leave it for a couple more minutes. But if you like your brownie to be a little bit gooey, it's going to leave a trace on the toothpick if you test it. So just a little bit gooey in the middle and the sides starting to set. So that's what I'm going to go for. So now that my brownie is out of the oven, it's a little bit still, it's a little bit gooey still in the middle. I poked it with a skewer and it leaves a little bit of trace. So that's how I want it, and now it has to cool down. Meanwhile, I'm going to make the nougat that goes on top. So it's a fast kind of nougat. And so I have to go back to the hub to cook that. So in my saucepan here, I have 50 grams of butter, to which I will add 200 grams of sugar and 60 milliliters of milk. But be careful, you really need to stir constantly because it has a tendency to catch. And so once we have been mixing it on the hob for about 5 minutes, so now I remember the marshmallow fluff that we did earlier. So there are 200 grams of that in this bowl that I just separated, and I coated it with cooking spray because that stuff is sticky. So put a bit of cooking spray to manipulate that. To that I have added also Nutella. So there are 80 grams of Nutella. And I'm going to dump all of this here and try to mix it quickly, but it's going to be very sticky. You can put some nuts in there, you can put bits of chocolate if you want, but I like it just like that. I'm going to pour all of that on this here. And this is going to start setting quite fast, so be ready to spread it around with a spatula or with a spoon. So before we get that to go cool, I'm going to pipe little pockets of Nutella in there because why not? So you can just jab this in and give little kind of pulse, and you see it kind of getting a bit bigger, and so people will have Nutella surprise. So I'm going to put that to the fridge, and this has to be completely cool before the next and final step. Hello again, and so my brownie and the nougat has cooled down in the fridge. It was more than 20 minutes, was 45 minutes or something like that. So now in this bowl I have melted 150 grams of cream, heavy cream, and 150 grams of dark chocolate. So that's the last layer. I'm going to pour that on top here. It's going to set quickly. So take a spatula or a spoon or anything and spread this chocolate all over. So I'll just take again some of the toasted pecans that I have chopped up before. So that's gonna go back to the fridge, and I'll see you in about an hour. All right, so the brownie Ferrero Rocher seems to be quite set, so I'll try to take it out of the mold If you want, you can use a little torch like this and a knife, so it makes for really kind of clean cut through the chocolate. So here is the final product. Look at this. So magnificent. Yummy. So I know that they are delicious, and so I cannot wait to take one. So let's try. The brownie is so fudgy. Lots of Nutella. The nougat is amazing. So chocolatey. Thanks for watching, and I hope you like this recipe.